Good evening, one and all present here. Welcome all the guests, members, as well as visitors here, present here. Good evening once again. Welcome to the Mask Leadership episode, Leaders Connect 014. And we all are here with a specific purpose. Let me introduce myself. My name is Prakash Sharma, the founder director of Pvt Training, as well as the author of the book, The Mask Leadership. The Mask Leadership has been started with a specific mission of creating 1,000+ leaders, wherein week after week, every Wednesday, we invite key top leaders from the corporates and they share their success stories and life experiences, which influences us in this particular community. So that's where, in short, we call as leaders create more leaders. And currently, all the participants who are here in this particular room are in mute. We will be giving you an opportunity to definitely speak with our guest, Dr. Rajni Sriraman. So before we start and give you a quick background about Dr. Rajni, and let me also ask you all, are we all ready? So if you all are ready, type in the chat box ready, and then we will be starting off with a quick introduction of Dr. Rajni, who is our guest of honor today. So kindly type in the chat box and let me see how many messages are coming in the chat box. That's really great. That's when Raguraman has started and all the other members and visitors are typing in. Thank you very much. So let me also add in you all, we are currently live on YouTube as well as this has been recorded for internal purpose. And with that, we would going to start this particular episode 014 Leaders Connect, which is leading with gratitude by our guest of honor, Dr. Rajni Sriraman. So let me give a quick brief about Dr. Rajni Sriraman's personal background. She's married to Mr. Sriraman, and Mr. Sriraman, his profession is basically the musician, and he's a proprietor now of Alia Studios since 2002. And Dr. Rajni has a son, Mr. Anirudh Sriraman, and his profession is a filmmaker, and currently he has been undergoing a project with Gautam Menon as well. And her hobbies are completely reading and volunteering is where she feels the hobbies, and volunteering especially with the gender diversity causes. And a favorite sport, all-time favorite sports for each one of us during childhood days. So there are much more to talk or to more share about Dr. Rajni Sriraman. However, let's understand her professional experience and what she has been gained through a video now. And then is where we will be starting ahead. And I would request all the members as well as the guests who are in here today and with the visitors who are coming for the first time, please do, I would request to turn on your videos as well so that the guest also feels more comfortable. Thank you very much. And the video of Dr. Rajni Sriraman is here now. So let's welcome Dr. Rajni Sriraman, and please do type in the chat box, welcome Dr. Rajni Sriraman, and yes, she is here with us today. We welcome you, Dr. Rajni Sriraman, here for this particular the Mask Leadership community, ma'am. Yeah, Dr. Rajni Sriraman.
Yes. Hi.
Yes.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you for a very warm welcome.
Yes.
And nice to see, a couple of my friends are here. Viju is there, and I have Lalita there. So I have you there. So feeling good, and a very a topic which is very close to my heart,
Yeah.
which I think I have an opportunity to talk about,
True.
and hopefully it will be useful to people who are
Yes.
listening to me. Thank you for the
Definitely.
opportunity.
Definitely. Thank you very much. And we will be definitely taking it forward. And let me put you also on the spotlight mode so that it helps and we'll be able to, other visitors also will be able to see you completely. And Dr. Rajini, thanks very much for holding in here. And then I have a first question to you. And the topic is definitely, as you rightly told, is holding closer to the heart. And the first question is, maybe what's your opinion about how leading with gratitude, is it really important in today's corporate sector?
Absolutely, because for me, gratitude is just more than what we are generally talking about. Because
Okay.
as a psychologist, as a person who's working a long time in the people space, for a very very long time in the people space, I believe that gratitude has several what do I say benefits for the individual as well as for the organization, because it actually very beautifully balances the people and the business outcomes of any organization. So and currently with all this COVID and all the drama that's been happening in the last 8+ months,
Right.
I think it is much more how do I put it, much more relevant in the current time than ever before in the history. Because today organizations are facing, I'm sitting on, even a few minutes back I was interviewing a lot of candidates. People are losing jobs. At least we should be thankful. I think we should start with a note of gratitude to God
Yes.
for giving us an opportunity to hire people. So the way the situation is not very great. People are being sacked. People are working in an organization without salaries, running families with a very petty pension of their parents, either of the
True.
parents.
True.
And so the situation is extremely bleak for many families. So today, as a corporate leader, as an organizational human resources leader, it becomes more important for me to balance both people and business outcomes. So when I'm thankful, when I feel grateful, and when I'm full of gratitude, the first thing that happens in my brain is, there's a lot of positive chemicals that get secreted. I don't want to put the names here because it will become too too
Okay.
technical. So
Understood.
there's a lot of positive chemicals, neurotransmitters to be specific, which gets generated, which leads to a very very optimistic environment, and which makes me to do a better job every day. And when I have these positive neurotransmitters being generated, I'm able to feel the sense of completeness. I'm able to feel the sense of satisfaction, and directly it affects my happiness quotient and affects my productivity quotient, and it becomes a virtuous cycle. So a virtuous cycle where this happiness leads to productivity, productivity leads to happiness, and the rest of it is good. So a little bit of gratitude every day will keep the debts away, is what I would say.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
For any organization, or difficult
Yes.
times away, like the Apple story that we all know. Yeah.
Yes. Very rightly told, Dr. Rajni. In fact, as you told, the cycles which you're talking about, the productive cycle and the happy cycle, which is all very necessary, and that's how it's correlating, right? Wonderfully told. But Dr. Rajni, that's one reality question which I have. Yeah, definitely, yes, we all understand as a leaders, constant growth. We all are there here. In fact, we need to understand that we need to, in fact, thank our superiors, thank our subordinates, thank our colleagues. In fact, as you totally told, thank God. And thanks, there's so many people to thank. However, in reality, what happens, there are some leaders who are actually hesitant to thank their subordinates. And they feel that if I start thanking and show gratitude towards my subordinate, the subordinate starts taking advantage. Is it true? And if so, what is your experience has been? If you can just share that, that will really be helpful.
So I want to talk about a small bit of culture piece over here, because having worked in multinational organizations and various cultures, I want to state this as a fact, which we as Indians have to learn from other cultures as well. While they have some things to learn from us, we also have lots to learn from the other cultures, like the British culture or the American culture.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, at the end of every discussion, they will complete the sentence with a thank you.
Right.
It's part of their language.
Yes.
It's part of their vocabulary, and they don't state it for a namesake or anything like that, but they mean it. They say thank you. Even if you're going to give them a pen for a couple of minutes, they will thank you. So if we are able to make it part of our vocabulary, that will make us slightly more approachable by our subordinates. And in fact, I don't like the word subordinates. I like the word colleagues, peers.
Colleagues is much better.
So, it will make us feel stronger along with them, and it makes us feel grateful to them for whatever they're doing. Because if I look into my bay, in fact, I'm in my office right now, in the conference hall, if I have to just step out, I have all my colleagues still working. It's beyond our working, the hours. We close at 6:30. They're all working. If I'm able to go out and tell them, hey guys, thank you for staying 15 minutes extra, or 20 minutes extra, or 3 hours extra, 4 hours extra, they don't need anything else. That small gesture from your side is going to make them so happy, and they're going to be much more productive than you can think of. Okay, they're going to give in their best to perform well. So this afternoon, we had some leftover sweets from Diwali. So I just stepped into the bay and said, guys, there are some sweets on my table. Come and pick it up if you want. So the guy, even the senior most guy, just came and barged in, and he took it, and he really celebrated that. And he said, ma'am, thank you. I really wanted to have some sweets after my lunch. So all of them look forward to small pleasures in life. It's not all of us don't need a Mercedes Benz to make us happy. All of us need just a small pakoda or a small a halwa piece to just make them happy. And the gratitude is also like that, and it should be instantaneous. It cannot be well thought out. Should I thank this person? Should I not thank this person? It cannot be so thoughtfully done. It should be like very naturally built as part of your DNA. So I don't think colleagues are so cheap. I don't think they're going to, each one, as you rightly put in your video, each one has their own capability. They come here to do some good work. Every day morning, they wake up to give their best whenever they come to the organization. And these small gestures will get that adrenaline rush in them, and they're going to feel much more happy and much more bloated in happiness. So yes, many leaders do not thank, and I think that is also a culture element over there. I think we have to do some work, some work around the culture to make our people more strong, our leaders more strong at that.
Definitely, as you rightly told, I like this word. That's a culture refitment which has to be done. It's a thought process within themselves, but that's when a leader really typically comes out, right? And then he really ensures that the constant growth is there. Wonderfully shared. So, Dr. Rajini, there has also been any circumstances with you. See, we are having so much of work sometimes, and we get so much occupied in the work that we miss out thanking people. And we want to really thank, however we miss out, and it's nothing intentional, but just if we might have missed out. And if you're missed out, what do you think has happened with the other people, the way how they think? And is there any circumstances like that which has happened to you? And would like to share any experiences where unintentionally we missed out and the other person have started creating a kind of an emotions where they started bursting it out. So is that which happens? Yeah,
it was not with thank you. It was more with sorry. Somebody felt that I did not, did not apologize. So when I was driving one day to office, I by mistake, hit a cyclist, and I didn't, because the rear view, I didn't see it, and I didn't know that I had him. So like I had traveled about 200 meters, and then somebody came from behind and said, "You can't you apologize? Or sorry, kuda solla mattingla?" That kind of a thing in our local Tamil language. I said, sorry for what? I just brought my shutter down, and I said, why? Why should I ask sorry? What happened? He said, no, you hit that peryver, you hit that senior man, gentleman, and you didn't ask sorry. And I parked my car on the side and sideways, and I went and I told him, sir, na park le, I'm very sorry. Then that guy was very appreciative of that. He said, oh, that's okay. He was very angry, but then when he saw me coming, towards the side and asking for that apology, I could feel that he was better. He felt better about it. So that is one thing. But the other thing is, yes, many times we don't say thank you. As I told you, that culture is there as part of everybody, right? So, but what I have made it as a point, as a practice or as a ritual is, every time somebody does something, it could be a very small gesture. I make it a point to say thank you, and in fact, I will send them all kinds of gifts and all that also. I have that child in me very live, so I keep sending those gifts and all kinds of things to make them feel very happy. So yes, so the other thing is, Prakash, the other part of it is, people know you. When people know you, they won't mistake you. If it's like once in a while, it's okay. They'll say, okay, Rajni, probably she missed it. She generally says thank you. She's full of gratitude generally. But today something happened, maybe something is at the back of her mind, and something is not good today. She didn't say thank you. So you have to come across as that person who's genuine enough. So it is not, gratitude is not like a one time response, or it cannot be singled out as a trait. As a psychologist, I'm again, very compelled to talk about traits and personalities and all that. But, that is not it cannot be singled out. You are a package, you are a complete package, right? When you're a package, your personality is embedded with a few characteristics, which are your own. No one else can, replicate that character. So that personality traits. So when people look at you, they'll see you as a complete package. At least I know Viju, who's sitting here, Vijay Lakshmi, who's sitting here, I know for like 25 years now. And I'm sure she knows me as a complete package, and she knows, my reactions, my moods, my emotions, she understands me. So I'm sure when people know you and understand you and see you as Rajini, who has these characteristics, these traits, I don't think there is a question of they feeling bad, or probably, people will come and say, what, that day you missed, it's okay, that's okay. So you have to present yourself as a complete package, and you have to, and at least for those people who mean a lot to you, you have to get that messaging across to people. Then no one's going to feel bad about it at all.
Definitely. Very rightly told. Very wonderfully told that once we start knowing the people, I'm sure the depth of the relationship, what we have, and that's when strong, then people definitely will start accepting. And very rarely, in case if we miss out, in fact, even to show our gratitude, it's completely accepted by the people. Wonderfully shared. So that means that the trust is one of the factor, in fact, which creates this.
Yeah, absolutely. See, there are also, it need not be always in words.
Yes.
Our body, it's such a beautiful thing that we are gifted with. Our body has, we can use our body so gracefully to thank people.
Yes.
We don't have to say thank you, I'm so grateful. All those drama, I don't think it needs to be created just because you need to be full of gratitude. You can nod your head and say thank you so much. I used to report to a British boss, a very strong guy, very good in business. And when I was working in Pfizer, HR used to be part of business operations. So I don't remember Andrew ever thanking me. But I know that he's very thankful.
Wow, wonderful. That's
yeah. So it all depends on who you are and what kind of signs or gestures you do or make to convey a message. The message has to be conveyed. It can be in any way. And as I told you, when people know you as a package, they exactly know what you're trying to communicate. So we have to use our body in full, Prakash.
Rightly told. Wonderful. Very nicely told. In fact, it's more. He is definitely the thanking, but thanking does not need to be by words alone. And a lot of gestures are there, which will really automatically be received by the people. Exactly.
Sure.
Wonderful. Excellently told, Dr. Rajni. So, Dr. Rajni, just what we'll do is we'll have a small quiz now. So, for what all we have shared so far, we'll be asking all the participants as well as our members who are here and visitors who have joined us today as well from the first. So, I'll just take a couple of minutes and we'll be coming back again. Now, this will be the time where we will have our members as well as guests also can be asking questions after this particular quiz. So before I even get into the quiz, I would like to first share about the last week's quiz winner. In fact, he is the last week's quiz winner. If you could see on the screen of my virtual background, Mr. Rajni Sriraman, who's from Tata Trust. He is actually won the Mask Leadership 360-degree assessment. And what's the Mask Leadership 360-degree assessment? Let me give a quick brief. It's a quick 360-degree assessment where we have 15 leadership competencies where you start getting rating about yourself from your superiors, your subordinates, colleagues, as well as customers, which will really give us more strong areas and improvement areas where we need to be. So that's what, in fact, with Mr. Rajni Sriraman did last week by answering the question which I asked correctly and quickly. And that's one thing very, very important. So let's see who is going to be that lucky winner today, who is going to get the Mask Leadership assessment for them. So the question is going to be very, very simple. So fastest fingers first, all the members as well as the visitors who are here in the room today. So the question is very simple. At the starting, the first question which I asked Dr. Rajni Sriraman, she told about some of the key quotients and she did relate on those quotients. So what are those quotients did she speak about? And quickly type it in the chat box, and I'm sure the person who's typing in right will be definitely given an opportunity to unmute. She did speak about some quotients. So she spoke about 3 quotients. In fact, what are those? So I'm yet to be gratitude. Yeah, gratitude. Yes, she did speak. Thank you very much, Chiranjeevi. Thank you, Sujata, and thank you, Sindhuja. You nailed it. Gratitude is there, but she spoke about 3 quotients. Okay, let me give you a hint. Happy quotient. Wow, again, Lakshmi Narasimhan is coming back again. Wonderful. Happiness quotient is one. Okay, productivity quotient. Maybe we need to reconfirm with Dr. Rajni as well. Is that a productivity quotient? But happiness quotient, yes. Good, good. Any more? I'm just looking at forward for some more answers. But nevertheless, definitely we'll come back to you. Mr. Lakshmi Narasimhan, you nailed it again, sir. And I completely understand the way how you are, in fact, listening to Dr. Sriraman. So let's listen once again that particular bit alone from Dr. Rajni Sriraman. It was happiness quotient was 1, ma'am. What are the other 2 questions, ma'am? What you're sharing it?
People and business.
Super cool. Wonderfully shared, which is people quotient and business quotient. And these all are interrelated is where she told. Great. So nevertheless, that this time we have been getting it across. I'm sure so many people did in fact share your answers. I'm happy that you all have shared your answers. So now the forum is open to ask questions to Dr. Rajni Sriraman. So thanks very much people Sujata, Kili, Chiranjeevi, Sindhuja, Lakshmi Narasimhan, Sujata, you all have really shared it right and correctly. And I'll not say correctly, but definitely you made an attempt. Wonderful, superb. So open to questions to Dr. Rajni. So members and guests, this is a time where we can ask a question to Dr. Rajni Sriraman. And if you have any question, please do raise, or we will be able to raise your hand and we will be able to unmute you. Or if you feel that you need to ask a question, please feel free to write in the chat box as well. And we also can ask her that. Yeah. So in the meantime, you all get ready with your question. I have one more. Oh yeah, I believe Ms. Sujata Suresh has a question. So yes, Ms. Sujata Suresh, we will be unmuting you. And I would request you to kindly turn on your video as well, so that it'll be easier for you as well. So yes, we have unmuted you, Sujata Suresh. Yeah. Go ahead, Ms. Sujata.
Okay. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Ms. Sujata, we are able to hear you.
Dr. Rajni is such a beautiful.
It's Sujata. How are you, Sujata?
It's so nice, really wonderful, and I thank you. It's
Suresh and I were colleagues in TVS Logistics.
Yeah. It's beautiful that you're able to remember and connect also. It's so nice. Thank you so much. I never expected, and when I saw your name, I was like so excited to connect with you.
Thank you, Sujata. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Ahead, ma'am. That's really very nice to connect with you. It's just that I didn't have any other question. I wanted to pay my gratitude to you. And so I did.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's very connected, Sujata. It's something very, very apt for the topic, and there's the right place to
That's
showcase our
not,
gratitude as well.
yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Suresh
Thank you.
was our IT chief back at TVS Logistics.
Wow.
So he used to put all the, and those days we were driving SAP big time, ERP big time. So Suresh was one of the first people to be, he was instrumental in getting that ball rolling.
Perfect.
Yeah, Viju, sure.
Great. So, in fact, I believe even Vijay Lakshmi would like to ask or share.
Yes.
We'll also unmute Vijay Lakshmi just a moment. We're unmuting you as well. Our backend team is doing that so shortly. Yes, Vijay Lakshmi, I believe it's been done.
Yeah, I can see that the happiness quotient is always overflowing with you. I can see that. And in fact, it's so infectious. You cannot not be happy when you're around. And I'm sure it's productivity because I can see the way you're climbing the corporate ladder. So, a shout out for your
Thank you, Viju. Thank you so much. Yeah.
But I have a question on why is it that in India we still have this hierarchical behavior, whether it's in a hospital or in an educational institution, wherever. I mean, when you're at work, your colleagues, somebody is superior by default. When I say superior, I'm talking in position. I'm not talking in terms of intellect. My intellect may be superior, but when you're at work, why do you have that thing that I am superior and when are we going to throw that off? I remember my children telling me when they were doing the PhD, they had the way to even talk with their guide with ease, not worrying about what will they say, will it affect my marks, will it affect this. Maybe I'm making it more academic, but I'm sure it's there in the corporate world also. And that works me a lot, that we still have that in us, the very Raj bit.
So Viju, and again, Viju was my colleague when I was teaching at MOP Vaishnav. She has two very, very well accomplished children, Sushma and Vishnu. So Viju is known to me, and we are very, very connected, and we are more than colleagues today. So Viju, for us, in India, as far as again, I feel very bad about this talking about India when we have so many good things. We also have to talk about the bad things.
Remove all the bad things and keep only the good.
Yeah. So like what you said, here the fear psychosis drives productivity.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a lot of fear psychosis, and today last week I gave a nickname to one of my colleagues. I said, I'm going to call you why something. Then he asked me, ma'am, what is why? Yama Dharma. I said, you behave like Yama. I said, you behave like Mr. Yama to most of the people, whether it is incoming candidates or already existing candidates, employees. You behave like the same way. Why? Then he said, no, avangala meritlana, you have to keep on meritifying them, or you have to keep them under the grip. Otherwise, they are not going to perform. I think this is going on for generations now.
Yes.
So the fear is what drives productivity and performance. And to some extent, I would say that a bit of leeway you give people think that okay, this person can be taken for granted.
So two-way
Some people they do take people for granted when we give them a lot of space to be the way they want. But some people are extremely sensible. They know what they're doing and they know what they're talking. But the incoming generation, the millennial generation or the Gen Z, which is right now taking up the jobs like my son or Lali's daughter, they're all this current gen. Lali is another friend who's there. She's hiding somewhere. I'm not able to see her. So all these are all the Gen Z. They actually don't care about all this fear. They'll say, hey, you want something, you ask me. You and I are equals. So that is the main reason we are not able to get over this sir and madam and this overpowering people, unnecessarily screaming and raising your voice. All that happens in India. So
I call it South Asia, not necessarily India. I think it's a very Asian thing.
South Asia, China, it's very
broader.
common. Yeah. And also to a lot, I would say even the Italian culture is like that.
Oh, I see.
Because yes, a lot of Italians are like that. Germans are like that. So they kind of lead with they love to scare people around, and they just enjoy the fear, watching the fear on the other person's face.
True.
That is why, they are not the productivity also. If you see, the children are running away from India to do their postdoctoral or whatever, because they don't want this culture anymore. They feel it's a nuisance culture. So that is where they want more free culture. So free in the right sense. Yeah.
One more question, Prakash.
Okay, yes, Vijayalakshmi. Yeah.
All the sense of entitlement with the next generation. They feel they're entitled to something, which is very different from our generation, where we felt that we had to be subordinate. They feel entitled. That's yet another thing, opposite spectrum, which I find very.
Yes, they are because they think they know everything. They think that this is that small world that they have in their hands. They think that they know everything. Today we had a conversation with a colleague of my age, and there was a younger kid who's a trainee with me. She is like from MOP Vaishnav Viju. So she is there with me, and we said, we never had opportunities like you, man. And like, we had to go and beg and borrow and steal opportunities from people. No one was welcoming us into any place. We didn't get that opportunity. But when you go to into the organization, when you start working, or when you get your employment, you better be well behaved, because all these Gen X and all these people are waiting to pounce on you. You better be well behaved. We were just. It's such a surprise that you're asking me this question now. We're talking about the same thing. They feel there's an entitlement, and they feel that the world is at their feet. At their feet. So, but they're also open to feedback. The good side about them is they are much more open to feedback when compared to the other generations. So I think if we talk to them and tell them, they will understand, is what I feel. Yeah, to just give them the benefit of doubt.
Yeah, we shouldn't get affronted with their.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So, very rightly told. In fact, as you rightly said, feedback will really help. In fact, the way when we are open to feedback and we're able to share that, people may definitely understand that we need to show the gratitude there.
Sure.
Wonderful.
I saw a question here.
Yes, there are two more. In fact, we have one is Mr. Pashupati, as well as one Mr. Srinivas is also would like to ask a question. So Vijayalakshmi, thanks very much for asking the question. I'm sure you'll be very happy connecting with Dr. Sriraman, and thanks very much for coming in as well. So let's take the two more questions, and we will. I also have one more question, Dr. Rajini. So let's make it quick and fast. So first, let's take the question by Mr. Srinivas. So Srinivas, we are unmuting you. Quickly, we can feel free to ask the question, and then we will go ahead with Mr. Pashupati. Yeah. So Srinivas, we have unmuted you. So kindly turn on the camera as well. We'll be happy to look at your face as well. That'll be really great.
Hi, Prakash.
Yes. Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Rajni Sriraman.
Thank you. Good evening.
I've been trying to attend his session for long, but today somehow I could. And Prakash Prakash had come to conduct a program for Geetham University. That is how I met. And since then, we have been working closely also in some of the projects. So actually, my question to either Prakash or any of the panel members or Rajni, can answer or throw light on this. Currently, I'm working for an economic development board of a state as a consultant. Okay, and typically, what happens in the economic development board is that they are looking for a quick fix solutions. Okay, they have a lot of problems, and they are looking for quick fix solutions. They want just to take something from here and there and build the KPIs for them, so that they can assess their consultants. Because all of them are consultants, they are not their employees. All are very, very senior people. So when I was going through some of the KPIs, I found, somewhere very jittery, because they are only 1 year contract people. So what could be one of the important measurement in terms of their behavioral attitude, in terms of KPI and behavioral?
Oh, okay. So that's actually, honestly speaking, a different question with respect to the topic. But nevertheless, that's a good question which has been asked. So Dr. Rajini would like to take up that particular question.
Can you repeat the question?
Maybe
please?
make it in a nutshell,
Yeah.
Jabra Srinivas.
Yeah. I'll try to simplify.
Yeah.
It's an economic development board of a state. Okay. And they have been interested to work on their KPIs, to design KPIs for their consultants. So I am looking at some of the competency on which I can design KPI based on the behavioral attributes. That is what I'm looking.
For economic development, is it?
Yes, state economy. Their basic work is like to promote the state for getting industries and all to their state.
Okay. So you need to understand what competencies you need to work on. Is that the question?
Yes.
So economic development, I think the first competency will be the resilience quotient. How quickly you jumped from a very big disaster as of now, as what we're going through. So resilience quotient, resilience could be one competency that I can quickly think of. And the second one, as far as economic quotient, will be like, economic development will be, I need to think about it. I mean, I need to organize my thought on this.
Yeah, I understand.
It's a good question, but it's a tough question.
Yeah, a good question. Definitely, Srinivas. What we will do is, as this is a little away from what we've been discussing in respect of today's topic, but thanks very much for asking that question. What we will do is we will definitely share the answer. Maybe Dr. Rajni Sriraman also can be sharing the answer to you. You can send me a mail and then we'll take it up accordingly. Will that be helping you, Srinivas? Yeah?
No, I understand, because this was off the hook directly.
Yes.
I joined just now only, so I was not aware that what was going before the.
Nevertheless, sure, Srinivas. Thanks very much for being in here, and we appreciate your presence as well. So, Dr. Rajini, there's one more question with respect to Mr. V.S. Pashupati. He asks, and it's already put in the chat box. I'm sure you might have read that. So, would you like to go ahead to answer? You want me to repeat the question?
Sure. So I wanted to anyway talk about this at some point.
Yes.
So for me, personally, it is very personally speaking, gratitude as a very deep-rooted, yet another very deep-rooted, a character, okay, or a mindset. So I would call it as an abundance mindset.
Wonderful.
An abundance mindset, people with abundance mindset are always thinking big. They don't care about, who's right, who's wrong and all that. They think big. They have a mindset to flourish, positively speaking. So gratitude is very deep rooted. Anybody who has this abundance mindset will have this gratitude coming very easily to them. So when you are with that abundance mindset, I think big. Okay, I think big and I give more. I give more because I know when I give more, I can receive more. And just because I'm, it's not a very esoteric thing where, I'm not able to understand this gratitude. No, it's not like that. When I give more, I receive more, and people know that when I give more, I'm able to accept more. When I give more, my mind space opens up, my soul opens up, and my heart opens up. I'm able to take more. That abundance is all these people, they don't think small at all. They think very big. They like to give. So there is a happiness when you give. So when I give away this gratitude to whoever it has to reach, I feel very happy. I feel very enriched. And, the whole day, you feel like you've bloated one round, so that's how you feel. One dia you would have bloated. That's the sense of feeling you will get. No, I really mean it. Whenever I say thank you, or whenever I give something to people, that's how I feel. And I feel like doing it more and more. And the person who receives it also feels very happy and feels very enriched.
Wonderful.
So gratitude is like you accept, you're happy. The person who accepts feels happy. And in my thing, the only, I don't want to call it as an advice. My only suggestion to people is have this abundance mindset. With COVID, one thing I've realized is life is very short, isn't it?
Yes.
Life is very short.
Very short.
And everybody is related. Today, we all have a common thinking pattern. The whole world is thinking unilaterally. So,
Yes.
when that is there, why don't we give more? Why don't we give more so we can accept more? And when you give more, you sleep well. Because again, your neurotransmitters are allowing you to sleep. It has a hell of a lot of health benefits actually, which with this paucity of time, I'm not able to articulate every health benefit. But one thing is, it helps you to sleep well. When you sleep well, you shed away a lot of unwanted toxins from your body. So you feel a lot more healthier, and you start giving. You are ready to give more the next day. So it's a beautiful virtuous cycle. So that's my suggestion, Mr. Pasupati. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, definitely. In fact, putting it, but nicely said that it's more of a giving and more of that abundance mindset. So it's more of the giver who has actually been benefited. Wonderfully shared that. So in fact, we do have another question, but Sindhuja, definitely hold on for a moment and we will be taking up your question. But let's come out with one more question, in fact, which we have. Now, how this gratitude, and it's already getting time, but nevertheless, we will take another 5 minutes to come to an end.
Sure.
So how this gratitude can become a habit. In fact, if you like to share, now there are leaders here in this particular community now. There are people, in fact, they're able to understand that, now gratitude is important, we're understood, but how can they make it as a habit? So what do you think are some of the key elements and how they can start demonstrating it? Any specific would like to share or how they can do that?
Yeah. So yes, it should become a habit. And as we were talking about the next gen taking over organizational, positions and roles, they expect you to do that very regularly. So I think, to give the benefit of doubt to the leaders. Today's leaders are extremely open about being grateful for whatever they receive. So that is one thing. That is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is, one of my friends used to do this. She used to have this nice gems. She used to collect these nice gems. She used to pick it up from aquariums. The ones that we put at the bottom of the aquariums. She used to collect these aquariums, and she used to keep it on her desktop, the tabletop in her office. And whenever people give her something or do something very positive towards her, she used to go thank that person, pick up one gem and drop it in a bowl. So at the end of the month or end of the week, she used to collect the number of gems that was collected in that bowl. And she will say, okay, if it's just not enough, then she will correct her behavior. And she used to, make this as a habit. And this friend of mine, lives in Paris, and she's a wonderfully, she's a great achiever. And she told me about this when I met her in Paris. So when I met her in the US one day, so she told me this. So it's a great opportunity. Life is full of opportunities at the end of the day.
Yes.
We have to remember to do these things. A bad memory we can forget. But then these are small reminders. These are small triggers, positive triggers, which will help us to, keep accumulating those positive gems for ourselves. And helps us to remind or helps us to keep track of the number of things that we should be grateful for.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellently told. In fact, the gems story, what you're sharing is something very nice to create or inculcate a habit.
And it's also beautiful, it's colorful, it's very beautiful to look at. So, it adds a lot of ethnic value also to it.
True.
Yeah.
Very relevantly told. Good. So thanks very much, Dr. Rajini. In fact, Sindhuja is also one of the participants there who's asking a question. But yeah, again, this particular question is little again away from the particular topic.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll
yeah,
help her.
definitely. Okay, I'm happy that you're sharing that. So, Sindhuja, yes, the question of Sindhuja is, would like to talk, Sindhuja, or in the interest of time, let me narrate the question quickly. She would like to know how to overcome fear while talking to superior or top management people. So she feels that a lot of fear she has within her to when she's talking to the top management people. So a quick maybe.
So Sindhuja, I'm sure you are again a millennial or a Gen Z, and that's why you're asking me this question. So see, all that you need to do is you have to be very sure of what you want to ask that person. You know, whenever you are whenever you are interfacing with that person, whenever you have an opportunity, whenever you have an opportunity to interact with that individual who's a top management person, be very sure of what you want to talk.
Yes.
Preparation is key, because today's top leaders, they very clearly say, hey, you know what, I don't have time. This is what they say. So it's very important for you to make it, they call it KISS, right? Keep it short and simple, right? So keep it very short and simple, but make your preparations very good. Make notes. Making notes is very good. So make notes, prepare, practice, and then go and talk to him. Because why I'm giving you this suggestion is, when you are practicing, when you're sure of what you're going to ask, your confidence levels goes up. You're more confident, and you could also practice a few related questions that your leader may ask you. Some anticipation you should have in terms of what he may ask you. So please make your preparations right, and this is not going to take away your fear on the first day. Okay, your fear will definitely be there, at least for a couple of meetings. But the first time, the second time, the third time, you're able to face this person with confidence. The next what happens to you is you'll be bold enough, you'll be more confident enough to face these people in life.
Wonderful. Excellently shared, Dr. Rajni. I believe, Sindhuja, I'm sure you would have got the answer. It was an excellent answer being shared, in fact, by Dr. Rajni. So please go ahead and we will be able to. So so members as well as visitors, I'm sure definitely we all are in here with a lot of insights and a lot of abundance and a lot of thought process we have gotten within us. So that's something really great. And what we're going to do now is currently, I will quickly summarize all the points, what we have been discussing, and we have been knowing it forward with us. So on the screen, we can be able to look at it. This is the mask leadership model, we call it as. And the mask leadership model, people who want to know more about it will definitely will be letting you all know. So in this model, if you could see, today's topic was completely about gratitude, which is nothing but the feelings. And when we say something about the feelings is, if you could see this, we have PH, which is called as productive habits, and we have UH, which is called the unproductive habits. And how this all model comes is all about is productive habits. The more and more we are productive habits we're using, we start getting positive feelings. And that's what we call it as PF, which has been written here, the positive feelings. And today's whole objective is to understand that every human being undergoes a lot of positive feelings and a lot of gratitude, thankfulness, happiness, which is all there within a human being. And it is only within us where we need to be coming out. And to understand the last question of Ms. Sindhuja, she was talking about a negative feeling called fear, that NF, which has been written. Our role is only to overcome all the negative feelings and start demonstrating with the positive feelings. And excellent session, Dr. Rajini, which she told about the happiness quotient, business quotient, people quotient, told about the mindset, which is the abundance mindset, the mindset of giving mindset, which it needs to be. And this only will lead to a constant growth, which has been taken across. I'm sure all the leaders who are present here in this session today, I'm sure would have been benefited by them all. Yeah. So for more information about this mask leadership model, feel free to visit our website, themaskleadership.com, and I'm sure there we'll be able to get more details on the same. And for the people who are attending the first time and all the visitors who are the first time here, let me share with you all saying that this Leaders Connect episode happens every Wednesday. We invite a top management leader from a corporate company, and where they share their key success stories and life experiences, as how now Dr. Rajni has done, which helps other leaders in the community to also constantly keep growing. And that's when we are calling it as leaders create leaders. So feel free, and if you feel that you are having other friends and colleagues who also wants to constantly learn from the top management leaders and that kind of a mindset of what you're talking about, the Dr. Rajni Sriraman, the mindset of abundance, the mindset of giving, and that's the mindset we all will help when we start demonstrating it for the constant growth. So with that, I would also like to share or take the pleasure to share the leader for the next week, whom we are actually inviting. And the next week's leader is Mr. Pandian Palaniappan, who is the General Manager, National Sales Training Person from Hyundai Automotive. So he is our leader for the next week, where he is going to give an excellent insights about the topic called crucial conversations. In fact, some of the leaders who have asked some challenging questions here, he is the right person. Also, he will definitely give us a lot of understanding about how this crucial conversations works and how it could be done. So feel free, on the chat box, you can see the link for the next week itself. You can always feel free to register, which is there in the chat box as well. And my number is also there for the people who wants to stay connected on a week-on-week basis. My number is also been there in the chat box. So feel free, and we'll be adding you to our Telegram community. All the people who would like to wish to have a constant growth, we have a group in the Telegram, and we add you in our Telegram group so that you get all the informations on a week-on-week basis. And further, we're only developing more and more leaders. So with that, Dr. Rajni, it was excellent being, thanks very much for excellent thought process which you've shared with our young leaders here who have been in this particular community. And I would like to share and express the gratitude here from my side by sharing this thank you video. So we have a thank you video which will be sharing it to us. So this video is going to be played now. Yeah. So,
thank you so much.
Yeah, just. So thank you one and all the guests, all the visitors, as well as the members here. Please do remember to type your learnings or share your learnings in the Telegram group. And I'm sure the learnings, what you type is always being remembered, and that will help even the other leaders in the group. So thank you, Dr. Rajni, for being in here.
Thank you so much.
It is a really wholehearted pleasure that
Thanks,
you've been
everyone.
here.
Thank you, Viju.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all, and meet you all. Yeah, Vijay Lakshmi wanted to start speaking, I believe. You just met Vijay. We will unmute you. I believe you've been muted again. And in case you would like to share anything personally to her, you can. Yes, Vijay Lakshmi.
Yeah, reiterate, I learned to be happy, to be grateful, and to give in abundance.
Wonderful. That's something which is very, very nice. Even I did get that particular point of abundance mindset is something really great, and definitely it's coming within us. That abundance mindset should start coming. Definitely will come. Yeah. Thanks very much, Dr. Rajni.
Thank you.
Really great. Yeah, thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you one and all, and meet you all again next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you.